Hello everybody and welcome back to a new video. So today's going to be a bit of a departure from my usual content in that we won't be doing any kind of repairs or anything like that. But instead what we're going to be doing is seeing what's in this box. So I just got this on Amazon. I'll have a link in the description below. And as the box says, this is from a company called Siglent. I think I'm pronouncing it correctly. But people familiar with the brand will probably know what that is, but longtime viewers of the channel know that I have been wanting a certain piece of test equipment, and they probably will know what's in this box, but just to kind of bring everybody else up to speed, what this is the Siglent Technologies SDS1202X-E. This is my new oscilloscope. So this is a 200 megahertz oscilloscope, so I think that'll give me plenty of bandwidth for what I need it for. It is a 2-channel, and I'm really excited to have this. So I'm thinking what we're going to do in this video is we're going to open up the box, see what it comes with, and then on top of that, I do have something underneath the bench that I've had sitting underneath there for a couple of years now that I never did anything with. And I was thinking about doing the DK Oldies PS1s, but I actually have those tucked in my storage unit while I was waiting to actually purchase this. So I'll have to go and get those, but they're not going to be shown in the video, so I'll do a separate video for that. So yeah, not really much else to say except let's get the box cutter and open this thing up. So the box this came in was actually just your standard run-of-the-mill Amazon box, but when I opened it up, it actually had all these labels all over it. So it looks like it was shipped from T Equipment, and then it was, I guess, sent to, I don't really know who any of that is, but I kind of wish that this was sitting on the Amazon box because it kind of was just left outside and during a rainstorm. So, but nothing was wet or anything. It even has like a packing list here, so I might take that out and see how many oscilloscopes got shipped. But what is kind of cool about the order date on this packing list is that this was shipped to who sold it on 7/10/2024, which the listing actually did say it was shipped and sold by Amazon. So I don't really know what any of this means. Like maybe somebody that's in logistics can explain this to me, but yeah. So I'm gonna take the packing list out just because I'm curious. As long as there's not any identifying information or anything like that. Yeah, kind of looking at this packing list here. Looks like they ship like 30 boxes, and I think that they were all the same oscilloscopes. So shipping that many, I mean, must be kind of a pretty popular model. I mean, the sheer amount of reviews that were on Amazon for it was quite insane. There were thousands of them. Okay. It's pretty nice. They have like their own packaging tape. I do know Siglent is a Chinese outfit, but they clearly pay attention to the details, so. Alright, so there's really not much in here in the way of the box. Okay, so this is gonna be probably a little awkward for me. My tripod is like super in the way here. Alright, so right off the bat we got our power cable. That new electronics smell. We got a USB cable. It's actually pretty thin. But this looks just kind of like a standard printer cable. It was a USB-B, I believe it is. Right, so then we got 2 probes, giggity. Which I do have another oscilloscope, like an older one that's broken, and I did buy new probes for it too, thinking that that's why it wasn't working. Because it wasn't like getting any kind of reading from the probes. So I bought new probes, so now I have like 6 probes. But I will be using probably these with this particular scope. Alright, what else we got in here? We'll bring out the main event in a bit. Alright, so we got the quick start guide. It says July 2020 on there, so semi-recently, I guess. Well, I guess it's 2024, but I know this model's been out for quite some time. So yeah, we'll go through this a little bit more in depth. Again, Chinese company. So I don't know what any of this means. Maybe I can put that into a Google Translator or something and see. Okay, so Siglent has determined that the calibration of this instrument is not significantly affected by storage of up to 180 days before first time use. Cal intervals should start at the time the unit is placed in service or 100 days past the date of calibration on the certificate received with the unit. Oh, this is just examples. So I don't know where the certificate is. Might find that deeper in the box. Unless it's tucked in this manual, which I don't see it. Oh, this is the certificate of calibration. No, right? Yeah. Okay, so this was calibrated. So yeah, this will be new. This isn't just like something that's been sitting in a warehouse for a couple of years. So it was calibrated March 2nd of 2024, which means it was probably manufactured very soon before that. Okay, now we're gonna go into the main event here. Okie doke, let's pull this out. Take the foam off here. It's got like a little convenient carrying handle. Oh man. Man, this thing is a little bit on the pint-sized side here, which is actually perfect because my workbench space is a premium. So I don't really have a lot of space. As you can see, this is my nightmare right here. There's just a lot of stuff all over the place. I've really got to like organize this. So I got like future projects, current projects, past projects. It's a mess. So having a small thing like this actually really works out in my favor. It'll be much easier to store. So yeah, I mean, this thing does have some decent weight to it. I mean, it's not like super heavy, like you can move this around very easily. It's not like my my old tube oscilloscope from the 80s. Now, I have no experience with that scope just because like when I bought it off Facebook Marketplace, I basically got ripped off by the seller. Claimed it worked, and got it home and the inputs didn't work, so I never got a chance to unfortunately use it, but that thing was heavy. This is, yeah, I mean, it's about the weight you'd expect from something like this. I mean, it doesn't feel super light, so like it's a low quality thing, so it does feel like it's good quality. Now the plastic also feels pretty good. It doesn't look like I'll be able to throw this thing, but I mean, it definitely some knocks and bumps. I mean, it feels pretty thick. It's not flexing as I'm pressing down on it. So, I mean, yeah, it's not bad. Not bad build quality on this thing. Now, how do the buttons and everything feel? So yeah, buttons, I mean, they're not like super high quality buttons, but they do have a decent feel to them. They are a little bit on the mushier side, but I mean, that's not a big deal for me at all. Dials feel pretty good. I mean, pretty plasticky, but again, I'm more of a function over anything kind of person. Now, like when I would turn these dials on like my Tektronix, yeah, like that, those move super buttery smooth. These kind of click as you move them. That's nice and buttery smooth. But yeah, the knobs and everything here definitely feel of the budget. I spent $347 on this on Amazon. So, I mean, you gotta make sacrifices somewhere. I mean, the Tektronix scope is gonna cost you like a couple $1,000s new. I think actually even more, and this was $347. So, I mean, you're not gonna expect something like this to be at that kind of level. But I mean, in terms of what I paid for this, like this feels really good for what I paid for it, so I'm happy with it. And down here we got some rubber feet. And ooh, so we can even tilt it up. So that's a nice little touch right there. Yeah, these feet do feel pretty cheap. I have a feeling something like these, like you abuse them just a little bit or look at it sideways, it's gonna break. But I mean, the rest of it, like I said, does feel pretty good. So I'm not too worried about it. I'm not gonna be abusing this thing anyway, so it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Again, like I said, like something in this budget, you gotta expect like some sacrifice to be made to hit that price point. So, I mean, yeah. Okay, now to go through the quick start guide. So obviously, like I said when unboxing it, looks like this is a July 2020 revision to it. So, and you all know me, I like to go through these Chinese companies' owner's manuals and see what kind of English we're dealing with. So I'm gonna read through some of this. Carefully read through the following safety precautions to avoid any personal injury or damage to the instrument and any products connected to it. To avoid potential hazards, please use the instrument as specified. So we got, looks like we have those general safety information. So we got the table of contents, copyright information, safety information, quick start, the front panel, rear panel, security lock, troubleshooting, contact them. Alright, so yeah, this appears to be just general quick start stuff like adjusting the legs, or this is inspected as it comes in, and blah blah blah. So looks like this is a quick start guide for both the 2-channel and the 4-channel model. The 4-channel model I think was an extra $100 or $200 more. It was a little outside of my price range, so I didn't really particularly care, to be honest. So and I don't think with what I'm using it for, I would need a 4-channel. So, and they look to be about the same anyway. So, connect the power socket, pretty basic stuff. When the scope is energized, turn on the power switch at the lower left corner of the front panel. During the startup process, the instrument performs a series of self-test items, and you can hear the sound of relay switching. After the self-test is completed, the user interface displays immediately. So yeah, I mean, pretty basic stuff in terms of owner's manual stuff or quick start guide stuff. It kind of goes through the basics of it. Unfortunately, it didn't. I was hoping it would come with a more substantial owner's manual, but I mean, that's what the internet's for, right? I should check out their website, see if they actually do have maybe a web manual or something like that. That I do not know. But yeah, it looks like it basically goes into like the different things, like the SPI trigger after setting the serial trigger on the SPI type and trigger menu. By the way, I have no idea what any of this means right at this moment. You can select to trigger on MISO data or MOSI data or MISO data or MOSI data. Again, don't know what I'm reading here. This is all stuff I am very eager to learn. Perfectly fine, perfectly readable. Color pictures. I mean, this is, in terms of quick start guides, I mean, this one's pretty good. I'll read through this tonight before we get into the little test I have planned. See how this works, but I'll probably do that tomorrow because it is getting pretty late here. Alright, so this is the probe, well, one of the probes it came with. It's got the probe characteristics, some accessories, so I guess that's the ground clip. It feels alright. I mean, I have to read through, see what all this fun stuff does, because I have no idea. Like, I've watched YouTube videos on how to use these and stuff like that, but I mean, just doesn't absorb into my head because it's like I don't have one in my hands, and now I finally have one, so a lot of things will start to make sense. So I did just want to compare the probes to the one that came with my Tektronix. Yeah, I mean, the wires are pretty much the same gauge. Looks like the plugs are pretty much the same, which is, well, similar. Which I wasn't expecting anything different. I mean, the probes are the probes, so. And this is one of those replacement ones I got on Amazon when that Tektronix wasn't working. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The ones that came with the Siglent just kind of feel a little better, but I mean, they do seem pretty much the same. So it's nice that I have extra probes. You never know when you need them. Oh, this is a user guide. Okay, so that actually... Okay, so this actually does go over what the different things are. Okay, so that's good to know, like, what all that stuff does. Make more sense as I use it more. And again, as always, tips and tricks in the comments. Totally would appreciate it. Alright. Time to unwrap the power cord and give this thing its first boot. Pretty. I like the lights on it. I think that's kind of a cool little touch. Alright, so I guess that's really it. It was a lot quicker than I was anticipating for a first boot up. You can hear the relays clicking every time I touch something. Things are moving nice and smooth though. The display's nice and clear. I really do like that. What is cool that I completely forgot about is you can hook this up to like LAN and then obviously the USB, so I guess you plug it into the computer. That's all stuff I need to figure out, but I don't think that that's anything I'm going to be necessarily using it for. I'm pretty much going to be using it to test something and then see if something's working or not. So for my purposes, I don't think any of the more advanced stuff for other devices I'm going to be using it for. But you never know. Alright, so now that I'm satisfied that it's working, it's getting pretty late here, so I'm going to pretty much start getting ready for bed. But I'll be back tomorrow with our little project and we'll test it out and see how this all works. Future Chris here. So just wanted to give fair warning here that this next part is going to be quite embarrassing for me. Remember I said I never use one of these and don't know what I'm doing with it? Yeah, it'll become very evident. Though since I recorded this and realized I needed much more knowledge, I have signed up for an online course on using an oscilloscope. I'll include a link in the description so you can check it out for yourself if you'd like. Otherwise, enjoy my failure. And I'm back. So, figured the perfect project to get my feet wet on this oscilloscope is this Iowa CD player. It's the DXN3U. So that's the model number of this. So basically I bought this a couple of years ago at Goodwill and I was going to make a video on it, but I never got around to doing it. So really the only issue with this is the laser. If I fiddle around with it enough, I can actually get it to play at least somewhat until it cuts out. So I'm going to see if I can use the oscilloscope to adjust the laser. So like the whole reason I bought this CD player is actually because I have a bookshelf CD player or a stereo system that my parents bought me back in the day. I think I was in like 4th or 5th grade or something like that. And the CD player on that doesn't work, and nor do the tape decks. And when I'm working on consoles and not recording, I do really like to listen to some music. So I'd like to be able to play some of my old CDs again. So I bought this hoping to fix it. I can get a new laser for it if I really wanted to. They're like 10, 15 bucks online. So if this doesn't work, it's not a big deal. I can just get a new laser. It's fine. So yeah, I think that this will be good to get my feet wet because we can try and play around with the pots and see if we can get it to work. I do have the factory service manual for this. So yeah, let me just finish getting this apart and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so I got this apart. I have the factory owner's manual up. I've calibrated my scope so I guess all there is to do is follow the instructions here. So it says connect the oscilloscope to test points TP1 and TP3. So if I'm reading this correctly, just bear with me, I've never done this before. Okay, it says turn on the power switch. That does help if it's plugged in. I'm having trouble trying to find this test point 3. It doesn't really show. Yeah, I don't think I'm at the right spot. Well, something went horribly wrong on this thing. So a little bit off camera, I was just kind of poking and prodding a little bit, trying to get a little familiar with the oscilloscope and like doing the test points and stuff. Now on the repair guide here, it does show like the underside of the board and where the test points are. So I was flipping it over and I guess I must have shorted something out or something, or maybe even just something went wrong just because of the age. I have no idea. I was trying to be careful, but I wasn't being super careful because I was more concerned about the oscilloscope. And I didn't really care too much about this $3 CD player, so I was just kind of tossing things around. And then on the backboard, which is where the output goes, and I guess that there's some power stuff involved there because there is a massive capacitor, it started to smoke. And now the disk drive just spins super fast. So I'm pretty sure that this thing's toast. So I guess I'll just put this back together and take it to my storage unit and put it in the box of shame. That's a shame about the CD player. But hey, that's why I like to practice on Goodwill finds. Those things are a dime a dozen anyway in the thrift store. And who knows, maybe I can find another one that's exactly like it, and I'll have spare parts. But anyway, I think this oscilloscope will be a fine addition to my workbench, once I learn how to use it, of course. I have a couple of PS1s in storage that need laser adjustment, so I'll practice on one of those, and then I can do a video to finish up that other PS1 that I did, and I promised I would make a video for. So definitely stay tuned for that. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I'll catch you on the next video. Bye for now.